Hello, everybody! Welcome back to to UKSG Summer, close enough. UKSG Summer 2021. We're raising money for Crisis, a wonderful charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. Absolutely awesome. And during the intermission, we got a donation. We got $60 by somebody, which name I'm not going to tell you right now. But the comment says, "Hey all, thank you for another amazing UKSG event. I can't say how much this event and community means to me personally. I love taking part and helping out and also raising money for an amazing cause. Let's see some Half-Life. Cheers." And with this $60 donation, we indeed managed to also reach the bonus run incentive of Half-Life at the very end of the marathon. So UKSG will extend just a little bit longer this time around. And the man, the legend, the myth who donated was none other than Tiny Tim. And this is a great segue because there has been a donation, a bid war for Elder Scrolls for the name. And the winner of that is also Tiny Tim, 78. And with that, I'll hand it over to Zebogo and Morrowind. Take it away and show us how to scroll some elders or something like that. Good luck and have fun.
We are going to scroll some elders. Hello, welcome. This is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This is an open world RPG from 2002. It was released for the PC and the Xbox. It is the first kind of true Bethesda game. Tiny Tim 78 won bid war. So there we go. It's kind of the first true open world Bethesda RPG. It paved the way for Oblivion and Skyrim and the new Fallouts and all that stuff. It was coded by like 9 people in a basement. It had a QA team of 1. It is a complete and utter disaster. We are running the long category, which is about 25 minutes long, where we play the entire game's quests in order. It's really broken. In the Axiom Verge community, we refer to this as a yes major glitches run, because oh my god, is this game a disaster. We're gonna go really fast, out of bounds. We're gonna mid-run patch. Everything about this is insane, so hold on to your pants, get ready. Time starts when I gain control of my character. This is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, we are moving. We start off, like all Elder Scrolls games, breaking out of prison. In this case, prison is a boat. So, we're breaking out of boat jail. And the first thing when you come out of this world, as a child in like 2002, role-playing games were not this big. They were not this weird. They were not this magical. They didn't have mushroom trees and giant fleas and all this nonsense. So this game is pretty overwhelming. It's definitely like a cult classic game. Character creation is relatively normal.
You'll have to be recorded.
Things are going to get way weirder in a hurry. But we're just setting up our character stats. We're building a custom character class that is designed to go fast. Because that is how speedrunning works. Intelligence, speed, armor and enchant, long blade, acrobatics. So we have skills to jump higher, run faster, etc. And we're going to take the birth sign of the steed, which gives the bonus of speed. And then we're going to go right into our first ridiculous glitch. There's a very expensive plate over here in the corner of the room. We are going to steal that plate and drop it on the table, and as soon as we drop it, the guard in the room will forget it was stolen. He'll let us pick it back up, and we can use it to get a little bit of starting cash. So here's the plate.
Stolen for the last time.
Cops don't have object permanence in Morrowind, so we've now taken the plate again, and we're moving. So you'll notice I'm running diagonally. That's because this game actually adds your motion vectors for both directions. So by running diagonally, I increase my speed by 40%. We are on our way, though, off to the first shop. So any percent is about a 2-minute run in Morrowind, and we're going to actually do the first minute and a half of it right now. We buy a lockpick and some scrolls, and this is technically now all we need in our inventory to beat the game. Everything else is details. There are a couple ways to fast travel in this game. There's teleportation, which I just bought some scrolls of that let me recall and mark around the world. There's like taxi cab style fast travel where you talk to like a dude and he gets on his boat. And then there is this spell. So an elf is going to fall out of the sky right about now. And he has a pair of scrolls that will let us fortify our jumping skill, our acrobatic skill, to jump basically anywhere we want as long as we don't care about surviving our landing. But with careful aim, we can jump and land in the second to last dungeon of the game and cut off, well, if we're doing any percent, the whole game. We point at a very specific spot on the wall and take off. And we are now completely out of control of our character. We're just jumping as far as we can and hoping we aimed right. And we did quick save before we jumped to make this marathon safe, but it was a pretty good jump. We're here at the final dungeon of the game. There are 2 items we need to beat the game: Heating and Sunder, a dagger and a hammer. They're also let us use a weapon swap glitch, where if I toggle this weapon fast enough, if I equip and unequip the weapon every frame, its buffs stack arbitrarily high. So I have now given myself roughly 3,000 speed, 2,600 speed, which lets me, 1, go really fast. It lets me go so fast that the game no longer recognizes walls. So I can now flip through any wall in the game, and I'm going to spend most of this run flying out of bounds at high speed. I'm going to kill this guy with a lockpick, because the game will think he's a door, and just kill him. So up until this point, we have been in Morrowind 1.0. 1.0 lets us have those glitches, it lets us get the infinite stats, but it is unbelievably crash prone. So what I've just done is I have quit the game, and I'm copying my save file with my infinite stats into a patched version of the game. So we are actually patching up to 1.6, patching up to the Game of the Year edition mid-run, which I think is speed tech that you only do in Morrowind. But we're now in a different version of Morrowind. We're now in the DLC version, which lets us have a different set of bugs to take advantage of. So we can go shopping more easily, and more importantly, the game doesn't crash. Even though this game's like 20 years old, that was only discovered about 1.5 years ago. So if you watch the old version of Morrowind at GDQ, last time was run at like GDQ, this version called hybrid mode, where you patch mid-run, hadn't been discovered yet. So this game, in spite of being a Stone Age relic from a darker time, has tech still being discovered. There's a couple other pieces we're going to get coming up in just a second in our setup splits that are also relatively new to the game. But first, we're going to just get some spells and some scrolls and things that will let us manipulate the AI. We're going to make a spell here that lets us permanently increase an NPC's speed stat, which is obviously very useful in a speed game to make NPCs faster. It does take a little bit of focus, so this would be a great time for some donations while I'm setting up this spell.
Alrighty. I'm not having any at the moment, but still wanting to say a big thank you to all of you who donated so far. We have reached a massive $4,065 so far, which I believe is quite the record in UKSG history. And I would absolutely love to talk about further incentives and bit wars, but sadly, all of them have been met so far.
Cool.
So yeah, at this
That's
point,
awesome.
I mean, yeah, that all of them were met is great, but from this point onward, you don't have any incentives and bit wars. You can put your money towards. That is a little bit sad. That's kind of what I mean. But obviously, if you still feel generous, you can still donate, of course.
You should still donate. Good
Yep,
thoughts.
we're not done here. We still have a few hours of a quality speedrunning content on this channel. So yeah, get some of those donations in if you still have, and if you still can.
Awesome. So thank you for that. And get those donations in, y'all. So that was Caius. We'll see him again. He's the main quest giver in the game. So this category is all main quests. So we are completing the plot of the game in sort of order. The next thing we have to do is we have to get this Rubik's Cube. Because it's an open world game, a lot of quest objectives are just chilling in the world all the time. And we can go out of sequence a lot to grab quest items when we want them, or when we're close to them rather than when we need them. So we've just done that. Another really important thing about this game is menu layout. So a huge part, probably 30% of this run by time, is spent clicking through dialogue menus. And if the menus get shifted or moved at all, sequences of clicks stop working. So like that thing I just did, I just gained 3 levels by double clicking as fast as possible. If that menu gets shifted even by a few pixels, that doesn't work. So very precise menu placement is a huge part of this run. And because we're playing in 2 different versions of the game, the menus actually don't persist between them. So I have to configure my menus separately for 1.0 and GOTY, which is hilarious. We're learning our last spells here. This is probably my favorite glitch in this or any other game. You're about to meet the magic shoes. So, escort quests in this game are run off of the same NPC AI variables that are used for combat. So there's a spell called Command Humanoid that is supposed to be used to make a hostile NPC friendly to you. But if we enchant an item with it, like these shoes, we can use it very rapidly to overflow an NPC's disposition to any point we would like, which lets us hit NPCs that would give us escort quests to think that the escort quest is done. So we're going to be whacking some NPCs in the face with a pair of magic shoes in order to skip every escort quest in the game except for one. That was discovered about like last year. It's probably the best stupid glitch in any speed game that I know of. And we're off to the big city. So we have finished our setup. We have all of our pieces together. We are ready to boogie. This is Vivek City. We are about to use our magic shoes. There is a lizard in a bar. He doesn't want to be in this bar. He hates being in this bar. So we're going to hit him with our shoes, and he's going to think we've taken him to a bookstore. Like we do. There we go. He's happy. And then he's actually going to start walking to the bookstore without us. So we taught him that he had the power to finish his escort quest all along. Another thing we're going to do a lot in this run is killing NPCs. There's a lot of people who need to die in Morrowind. We like to shoot them from out of bounds, because then it doesn't count as a crime, because no one can see us. The arrow just comes out of the sky, and no one knows why. It's way faster than sneaking, because we're going to be out of bounds anyway. So we're going to finish this up. Neverine. Oh, we need the... Oh, there we go. See, my menu got shifted just a little bit, and it's like my muscle memory's off. Just by that much. A tiny menu shift can really throw a run off. So... the world record runs on this game have like such precise menuing that it's really kind of unbelievable. Okay, this book, resist arrest. One other thing that we have in this is because I fortified our stats so high, nothing can hurt us. We are functionally immortal. So we're just gonna tell everybody that we don't care what they say. We're gonna break every law, steal every item, kill every NPC, do every crime. No one will care. Everyone will love us because our stats are so high. So the plot of Morrowind is divided into kind of 3 chapters. The first chapter is about breaking out of prison, and you work for the Imperial government. You're a spy. Business, gift giving, gifts, Ashlanders. You're like, you break out of jail, and you work for this incredibly ripped, shirtless old guy in this house, who gives you quests to solve problems around Morrowind. You find out over the course of your quests that you are in fact a candidate to fulfill these Dark Elves' Messiah prophecy. You're the Nerevarine. You're the reincarnation of their like ancient hero. And so the second part of the game is fulfilling that prophecy. I got a little turned around there as I was talking. There we go. The third part of the game, the finale sequence of the game, is using your newfound role as their Messiah to defeat their ancient enemy and overcome the evil that lurks at the heart of the Red Mountain by blowing up a giant robot. Because this is a normal fantasy game with giant mecha powered by the hearts of dead gods. But so, in order to become recognized as this ancestral hero, you have to complete just an absolutely ungodly number of quests. This is about a 20-hour quest line that I'm about to finish in a minute and a half or so. Because I know where the last object for it is, which was that bow. So I get that bow out of that tomb. I talk to this guy. I talk to his grandma. Grandma's going to give me a riddle. I know the solution to the riddle because I'm cheating, because I've played this game once or twice. The solution to the riddle is 6 a.m. We're going to take a nap until 6 a.m. and we will have beaten a 20-hour quest chain. Prophecies, continue, pass the test. take a nap. 5 hours. It's now 6 a.m. And we are done with that. We are going to be officially recognized by the goddess of dawn and dusk as the messiah of the dark elves. Headphone warning, this next spot has a cutscene. It is skippable, but she's going to yell very loudly, very briefly at us. I'm going to skip out of it as fast as I can. You're probably going to get her yelling "Nair" at us, so get ready. Loud.
Nair.
And we're done. Cool. We've been recognized by the goddess. Time to go kill some more people. These people live in mushroom trees. So, something you'll notice when I kill people in this game. I'm going to shoot this guy right now, for example. I actually stick around and watch him finish dying. It doesn't feel fast to have to do that. But the game has a very... the game's engine has an order in which it checks NPC deaths. So once you kill a character, it reduces their health to 0. And then it plays their death animation. And then, after their death animation finishes playing, it updates the script that they are, in fact, dead. So if we don't stick around and watch these NPCs we kill die, the game will trap them at 0 hit points, but not yet dead, until we fly back into the cell and observe them finishing dying. So you can lose almost 5 minutes in this run if you go through these kill sequences too fast. Because you have to figure out who didn't die, fly back to their tower, and finish watching them keel over in order for the game to register them as successfully killed. Even if they're already at 0 health. You don't have to shoot them again. You just have to watch them die. We're going to go hit this lady with our shoes. She has a really long escort quest that we just skipped. And we have been recognized by Solmatul as the Urshalku Neverine. And we are out of that split. So, now we have to do the only actual escort quest in the run. This is the only one that we can't solve with the shoes. This split is where speedruns go to die. This is Aldrune, also known as the Crab Rave. He's in his giant crab shell. Crab Rave is the worst. This escort quest cannot be skipped. The only thing we can do with this escort quest to make it any faster is hit that guy with that spell we made while we were reading donations earlier, which permanently fortifies his speed, so he's going to be a professional track athlete in his next life. But then we just listen for the audio cue of his comically fast footsteps. And that means he's followed us successfully to the next door. This split can lose so much time because the guard patrols here are random. And if he gets stuck on a guard or on a fence, he didn't, thank God, you can lose 30-40 seconds of him just walking blindly into a wall at high speed and being unable to do anything about it. It's hilarious, except when it ruins your speedrun, and then it's just really sad. The last piece of this zone is going and finding all these people and saying the magic words Redoran Hortator to them. Redoran Hortator. And you have to do that in a very specific sequence too. But this crab shell is unlabeled and all the houses look the same. So when you're first learning the run, this split in particular is just absolutely brutal. People who've been watching my stream since I was starting out, I had one legendary run when I was learning Morrowind, where I spent 40 minutes in this 2-minute split, just lost trying to fly around to find the right 5 people to say Redoran Hortator to.
How may I be
But now I mostly know where they are. So I've been playing this game a little bit, now and then, here and there. This guy's over here. He's got a rug that you can get stuck in. The rugs aren't just textures on the floor, they're modeled objects, and if they're too high off the ground, you can't get clipped in them. It's also faster to run face first into the door than it is to wait for the door to open, which is great. And then this last person is not going to be impressed that we saved the kid. He's going to... Get through that mushroom. He is very brave. He's going to challenge me to a fight. He actually has the best gear of any NPC in the game. So he's a very difficult fight. He doesn't know we've been cheating, though, so he doesn't know what's coming to him. We'll fight him later. Take the taxi, which is this giant flea, back to town. And we're on to the next phase of the main story. So the next phase of the main story is so the evil god entity, Daga is also our like ex-best friend. It's complicated. We have a complicated relationship. But he has created a combination dream, poem, and disease. It's all 3 of those things. And it infests your mind and your body, and it gives you an octopus for a face. Like you start growing nose tentacles, like a creepy snuffleupagus. and you eventually go insane. So we have to go get this disease for reasons that are related to the plot. And the best way to do that is to shoot this guy. And we now have face tentacle leprosy. And everyone is going to be really mad at us. Every NPC we talk to until we get it cured is going to be like, oh my god, you have this disease. I can't talk to you. So this is going to be problematic and slow. So the next thing we have to go do is get this disease cured. That was close. I almost just bottomed out there. So I can't die of fall damage, but if I take fall damage, it can stun me and lock me to the ground, and I just like wipe out and lose a couple seconds, which is hilarious. Anyway, we are going to get our weird disease cured. But first we have to kill a few more people, because that's the story of Morrowind. We're flying up to this goofy little town. They have a problem in this town. They're divided between pacifists and warmongers. And we have to negotiate a peace treaty between them and talk to a bunch of people, and I'm just kidding. We're going to stab them all and take their clothing. Because that's how we find peace in this world. We're going to take this guy's shirt. Next time we actually don't need to take any of his clothing, we just need to watch him die. He's dead. So we're going to take these guys' clothing, and we're going to give them to this kid and tell him we killed all your friends. Here's their clothing. He'll put the clothing on and declare us the Messiah and tell us he never wants to see us again. Which is the optional workaround to this very long, complicated diplomacy mission that we're on. So she'll tell us, oh, by the way, you need to solve these problems. We have these people in our camp who hate each other. It's like, lol, JK. They've all been stabbed to death. Here, kid, put your friend's shirt on and declare me the Messiah. And he does. So that's cool. So now we have to go get our octopus face plague cured, corpus cured. And this split is really unpleasant to fly around because it's in this sick mushroom house. But this mushroom house was not designed to be flown around, obviously. And the way that clipping in this game works is the more polygons an object has, the easier it is to get stuck in it. So these like paper lanterns, a lot of polygons for a game this age. These curvy doors, a lot of polygons. These swoopy walls, a lot of polygons. There's a lot of places in this zone where I can just get stuck while I'm flying around. And if that was not enough, this zone also has a bugged out warp plane. So underneath every part of the game, there's a plane that teleports you out if you fall through the terrain intentionally or unintentionally. But in this zone and in several other of these tower houses, it's bugged out because they only have one QA tester. And he was not going to spend all of his time falling through floors. And so instead of warping you out to safety, it'll soft lock your game and you just have to control it to lead out of it. I'm actually really impressed that we haven't crashed more in this run. On my stream, I run a crash counter because Morrowind goes down probably on average once every 20 to 25 minutes. So like a 2 to 3 hour stream will have 6 to 8 crashes. And that's just the joy of breaking a game that's this old. Okay, gotta find this mushroom house, kill this person, and stick around and watch them die again. This one's a really easy one. You hit the wrong person. You hit his like lamp. No, I got the right guy. He's in a room with like 4 friends, and if you hit the friends, sometimes it'll bug you out. Last use of the magic shoes coming up here. They're actually discovered on this split. This lady's escort quest is heinous. She's in prison, and we have to break her out of prison and take her to this person across the map so they can get married, and it's very sweet. But if we hit her twice with our magic shoes, she'll think she's married. He'll think he's married, and they'll live the lives happily ever after, in spite of her still being locked in prison and him living in a yurt on the other side of the continent. With the power of magic footwear, you two can get married to someone you've never met. So now we've solved our problems with like the elves and the like yurt elves, the kind of Dune style tribal elves, and it's time for us to deal with the civilized city elves, who we deal with by killing their leader. And then intimidating all of them. So we're going to fly around this big, beautiful world and talk to a bunch of random NPCs, all of whom are going to be afraid of us now that we killed their boss, which they should be, with a brief interlude for one of them who's not afraid of us. Y'all remember that guy from earlier who challenged us to a duel, the best armored, best equipped character in the game? Here he is. He's really scary. He's dead. the last person we're gonna have to deal with in this split, there's a guy here who wants a bribe. Bribes are really expensive. We actually have the money we need, but it takes us longer to pay him the bribe than it does to just kill him. Oh, here's a fun little piece of this game. So some of the cells in this game are in multiple cells to save memory. So we enter this house and fly across the void, and the house we actually want to be in is in the same cell, is hiding in the same place. Rather than having to find the correct door, we can go to the wrong door where that guy is lurking. Last one of these NPC checks is on this jellyfish farm. Because we're doing all main quests, we have to do these in a very specific order. If we screw them up, the game will give us the wrong dialogue later in a later split, and we'll have to figure out where we went wrong. We're now officially in the late game. We're about a minute or two from time. We're getting our final orders from our shirtless friend. Our final orders are to break this librarian out of jail. Jail, of course, as you do, jail is a giant asteroid, because this is a normal fantasy game. This is actually a really cool plot point. You break her out of jail by smuggling her a teleportation scroll, which is a really cool kind of escape from Alcatraz. Like, how do you break out of magic prison? Like, get someone to break in and smuggle you some teleportation magic. So, here's her scroll. She's out. She's going to take us fishing. Literally, we're going to go up to someone and tell them we want to go fishing. Which leads us to one of my favorite useless skips in the game. Out here at this island, there's a door that's only open at 6 a.m., which we actually at 7 p.m., so it's open right now, dawn and dusk. If the door is closed, you rest to get through it. However, if you don't want to rest, there is a clip through that door that I discovered that loses you 3 seconds, but makes you feel super cool. And I posted it to the Discord, and they were like, that clip's super inconsistent. I'm like, it's not inconsistent. I figured out how to solve it. And then we tested it and say it loses you 3 seconds, but it makes you feel like a total baller. So it's worth doing anyway. So we're on to the final NPC checks. We have 4 NPCs to talk to in 4 different towns. And we're looking for very specific dialogue from all of them. If we get that specific dialogue, it means that we have completed all the major quests, and we've officially finished the AMQ section of the game, and all that will be left is to kill the final boss. So we'll basically resume that any % run we left off 20 minutes ago, and we will be off to the final split of the game, which is killing the final boss. We have to talk to these people. One last mushroom wizard. She's kind of great. She's hiding out in this tower in an island in the middle of nowhere, in like an attic room with a naked cat person, just like vibing like you do. There he is. Children look away. Totally not safe. Cool. And we are done with that. We got all those. Last dialogue check. We have to talk to the religious leader of the elves, the elf pope, who's in this house here. And if he says the dialogue we're looking for, that means we have completed the main quest. We are done with the main quest portion of all main quests. We have to go talk to God, and then we are back on the last minute of the run, which is the end of any %, where we kill the final boss. So we are going to warp out of here. We are going to travel back. We are going to fly to the volcano at the heart of the world. We are going to travel through this impossible dungeon full of max level characters by skipping them all, going through the walls. We are going to break the heart of God, destroy this mecha, and that will be time, because Morrowind is a goofy game. So it's coming up in just about a minute. We fly, skip that dungeon, skip this dungeon, skip this dungeon. We actually just fly through this on high speed. The final boss here has got an amazing voice actor. We're not going to get to hear him, but he's got this very like, welcome to this place where destiny is made. How can you kill a god? Time comes up when I teleport out of this room. So you've broken his robot out of the room, and time. Thank you so much for watching Elder Scrolls Morrowind. I hope you enjoyed that disaster of a video game as much as I enjoy running it. I thank you, Tiny Tim78, for lending me your name. I appreciate it, and I will not be returning it at the end of this event. Big shout outs to the Morrowind speedrunning community. There are dozens of us. Some of the most welcoming, chill people I've ever met. shout out, obviously, to UKSG and the staff for putting this crazy thing together. If you want to watch me play this dumb game more, I'm on Twitch. It's the same username, it's Zebogo. But other than that, just thank you all so much. This has been a real joy. I appreciate you. Peace out.
Cool. Thank you very much for the Morrowind run, Zebogo. I do believe most people in chat have truly enjoyed the run. You know, Elder Scrolls game have this knack of being quite broken. I personally really enjoy broken games, and I know that a lot of other people do too. So yeah, thanks for the amazing run.
Thank you.
Yeah, friends, folks. This is also it for me. This is the end of my hosting shift. It has been truly a pleasure to be on the mic again after being behind the scenes for most of the event normally. So it was truly a pleasure. Next up on the host mic will be a Dino Web for Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village, which are the next two upcoming games. So if you're a Resident Evil fan, this is truly the moment for you to stick around and watch some Resident Evil speedruns. And yeah, but before we do that, we are going to jump into a quick intermission so we can set up the next run. So don't go anywhere. Resident Evil fans, enjoy some chill tunes. And yeah, as our geek always says, grab a drink, grab a snack, and we will be right back. So enjoy, everybody.